As the final confrontation with the malevolence of Sauron loomed, Middle-earth was ensnared in the turmoil of fear and anticipation. The air crackled with an electric tension, heavy storm clouds swirling ominously above the battleground, casting an eerie gloom over the land. The clash of weaponry reverberated through the air like a deafening symphony, mingling with the thundering hooves and war cries that echoed across the plains. Standing amidst a diverse coalition of brave warriors, one could feel the palpable weight of their shared destiny bearing down upon them. Men stood with steely gazes, elves with bows drawn taut, and hobbits with hearts of unyielding gallantry, all united in their resolute purpose to confront the malevolent forces threatening their world. Yet, amidst this noble assembly, a conspicuous absence lingered. The dwarves, renowned for their unwavering loyalty and indomitable spirit, were notably absent, safeguarding their mountain fortresses against the encroaching darkness. In Rivendell, gathered in the Grand Hall of Elrond Half-Elven, a secret council convened. The air was heavy with the weight of the discussions that had taken place, the somber recounting of troubles in Middle-earth, casting a shadow over the gathered company. As the evening sun cast a golden glow through the elven architecture, the council members listened intently to Gloin as he began to speak of a ghastly messenger who had visited Erebor. As the stout and stately dwarf recounted the events that transpired at the Lonely Mountain, a hush fell over the council. He spoke of a dark, cloaked figure standing at the gates of the dwarven stronghold, his presence ominous and foreboding. The emissary had requested an audience with King Dain, and though his words were not overtly threatening, his intentions were clear. As the messenger referenced hobbits and a particular little ring, a shiver coursed through the bodies of those in attendance. The suggestion of the renowned dwarven rings as a reward for such a seemingly insignificant trinket filled the hearts of the assembled group with a sense of suspicion. Whispers spread among the council members, their minds swirling with uncertainty and trepidation at the implications of this unexpected twist in the proceedings. Dain concluded Gloin was resolute and unwavering, standing firm in the face of this insidious bargain, the king's refusal echoing throughout the halls of Erebor. Outside, the winds howled with an eerie intensity, as if echoing the encroaching gloom that threatened to engulf their lands. In that moment, a silent steadfastness settled among the council members, a collective determination to stand united against the sinister powers of Mordor. The weight of their shared burden hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the daunting task that lay ahead in the battle for Middle-earth. Outside the craggy peaks and winding tunnels of the mountain city of Erebor, the dwarves toiled tirelessly to defend their bastions against the threat from the Easterlings. Unbeknownst to them, a fierce battle was raging in the distant lands of the south, a cataclysmic clash that would determine the fate of all Middle-earth. Oblivious to the unfolding events and the dire need for their aid, the dwarves remained resolute in their defenses, guarding their ancestral home with unyielding determination. In the valley between Erebor and Dale, the dwarves wielded hammer, mattock, and axe alike, fiercely defending their home against the onslaught of Sauron's servants. Though they were far from the field of battle in Gondor, the absence of the dwarves was not due to a lack of courage or commitment, but rather a fierce dedication to the protection of their own lands and kin. Beneath the looming shadow of the Lonely Mountain, the symphony of battle filled the air, resonant clashes of swords, the twang of bowstrings, and the haunting cries of warriors locked in a perilous duel of fates. King Brand of Dale, a valorous descendant of the legendary bard, the bowman who had slain the fearsome dragon Smaug, stood staunchly amidst the tumult, his blade aglow in the dwindling light of day. At his side, King Dain, proud heir of Durin's line, unleashed thunderous blows with his mighty hammer, the ground trembling with the force of his every strike. As the hordes of Easterlings surged forth like a tide of wickedness, their ominous banners twisting in the wind, the kings of Erebor and Dale stood resolute, a united front against the onslaught. Their warriors fought with fervor and valor, a testament to their unbroken spirit and loyalty to their leaders. Yet, in a cruel twist, tragedy descended upon the battlefield like a shadow. A relentless volley of arrows pierced the air, finding their mark with deadly precision. The gallant King Brand, a beacon of strength and courage, was struck down, his lifeblood seeping into the ancient stones outside the gates of Erebor. With a fierce howl of sorrow and fury, King Dain unleashed a torrent of strikes with his hammer, driving back the enemy forces with a ruthlessness fueled by anguish and unwavering resolve. He loomed over Bran's prone figure, like a colossus of stone and steel, his eyes ablaze with a fire that refused to be dimmed. The defenders of Dale and Erebor pressed on, their hearts heavy with grief, but their wills unbroken. But in the tumult of battle, another hostile arrow found its mark, cleaving through Dain's armor and bringing the mighty warrior to his knees. Despite the searing pain, Dain fought on, his strength waning but his spirit unyielding. The enemy closed in, hungry for royal blood, yet Dain continued to battle with a vigor that inspired all who bore witness. In his final moments, he stood defiant, his hammer swinging with unparalleled ferocity. At last, the great king under the mountain drew his last breath. As the news of the king's deaths spread among their troops, a wave of despair washed over the dwarves and men who had fought valiantly by their sides. With their leaders gone, they found themselves overwhelmed by the sheer number of enemy forces. Slowly but surely, they were pushed back into the depths of the mountain, their future uncertain and their hope dwindling. The once proud warriors now found themselves trapped within the very walls they had sworn to defend, surrounded by the echoes of battle and the haunting memory of their fallen kings. Embark on a magical journey through Tolkien's enchanting world. Subscribe now for incredible landscapes, heroic quests, and captivating adventures. Ring the notification bell to never miss a new trek through Middle-earth. The news of the fall of Sauron, Dark Lord of Mordor, spread swiftly across the lands, carried by the whispering winds of change. Upon the northern battlefield, among the Easterling horde that occupied the valley outside Erebor, the tidings of Sauron's defeat cast a shadow over the hearts of those who had once marched to war under his banner. Their once imposing ranks, now riddled with uncertainty and fear, stood on the battlefield, their spirits dampened by the knowledge that their master had been vanquished. As the Easterlings wavered in their resolve, a rumble of determination echoed from the gates of Erebor, the lonely mountain. The dwarves, unaware of the fall of Sauron in the south, suddenly saw the zeal of their enemy weaken and felt the pulse of victory reverberate through their own veins. With a renewed fire in their hearts, they burst forth from the mountain like a river unleashed, surging towards the Easterlings, who now found themselves on the brink of defeat. The clash of arms rang out across the battlefield, a symphony of steel and valor, as the dwarves and men of Erebor waged a fierce battle against the eastern foes. The Easterlings, their spirits broken by the news of their master's downfall, could not withstand the ferocity and determination of their adversaries. With each strike of blade and swing of axe, the defenders of Erebor pushed back the Easterlings, driving them from the field in a whirlwind of victory and triumph. And as the last echoes of battle faded into silence, the lands of Dale and Erebor stood united, their spirits lifted by the resounding defeat of Sauron's former allies. The eerie aftermath of the destruction of Dale cast a heavy shadow over the once thriving city, with the harsh smoke hanging in the air as a grim reminder of the recent battle. The ruins of the buildings, reduced to blackened rubble, stood as a testament to the ferocity of the conflict that had taken place. Amidst the desolation, the new kings Bard II and Thorin III Stonehelm stood silently, mourning the loss of their fallen fathers, King Brand of Dale and King Dain II Ironfoot, who had valiantly led their people in the face of evil. Outside the grand gates of Erebor, the new kings surveyed the devastation that surrounded them. The fallen soldiers, clad in tarnished armor, lay scattered across the scorched battlefield, their silent forms a poignant reminder of the price paid in the battle against evil. The cries of the wounded and the deafening silence of the dead filled the air, painting a bleak picture of loss and sorrow. In the northern realms of Dale and Erebor, unbeknownst to their inhabitants, a fierce battle against Sauron's forces had unfolded in the distant southern lands. The armies of light clashed with the darkness, their valor shifting the tides of fate in Middle-earth. With firm resolve, the militias brought down the Dark Lord, yet the victory bore a heavy price. The echoes of war resounded across the lands, leaving an indelible mark in every corner it reached. As they stood amidst the ruins of their kingdoms, Bard II and Thorin III Stonehelm felt a sense of unease, as if the very earth beneath their feet resonated with the aftershocks of a distant conflict. Though they were unaware of the specifics of the southern battles, they sensed a shift in the winds of Middle-earth, a ripple of change that carried both hope and uncertainty. In the midst of their mourning, a decidedness grew within them to stand strong in the face of whatever challenges lay ahead and to honor the sacrifices of those who had fought and fallen in the struggles for the destiny of their world. And so it was that while the forces of good clashed with the iniquitous forces in the south, the dwarves stood undaunted in the north, their hearts beating with the same unyielding fortitude that had defined them since the beginning of their kind. Unaware of the epic strife unfurling beyond their borders, they remained unyielding in their defense, ultimately aiding in the final downfall of the Dark Lord and a new age of peace and restoration for all of Middle-earth. Discover the enchanting universe brought to life by the masterful storytelling of Tolkien, where courage and hope stand as beacons against the encroaching darkness. Embark on an epic quest with us as we traverse the realms of Tolkien's imagination, uncovering the intricate details and compelling characters that populate his magical world. Gather your gear, hit that subscribe button, and prepare for an unforgettable journey into the heart of Tolkien's extraordinary creation.